The world breathes, not like we do with our chests. It inhales through events and exhales through coincidences. And if you listen closely, you realize that nothing happens just like that. We are used to thinking that we decide everything ourselves. We choose, we plan, we move forward. But sometimes life breaks this narrative, and you realize that there's a force moving through you. It does not shout. It whispers through symbols. Carl Jung called this synchronicity. It is not magic, not superstition, not spiritual mysticism. It is a reality that you feel in your gut. When someone enters your life at the very moment when you are ready, when you hear the right words from a random passerby, when everything around you freezes, and suddenly you realize you are not alone. You are being guided. The universe does not speak the language of logic. It speaks in images, metaphors, paradoxes, as if it were drawing road signs in front of you, but without inscriptions. And only when you stop chasing explanations will you begin to see them. You cannot plan for the person who will change you. They do not fit into your lists and ideas. They appear when you let go and begin to see. We do not seek people, we respond. And if there is a response inside, it is not a coincidence. It is a signal. Because all of life is built on responses, not control. We think that encounters are the result of decisions. But genuine encounters are flows. They happen not according to a schedule, but according to depth, conclusion. While you are looking for logic, the universe whispers in images. To hear means to go beyond the mind. That is where the path begins to those you are not looking for. But recognizing, the one who is supposed to come almost never seems right. At first, they scare you. They annoy you. They cause pain. It's as if they're entering not through the door, but through a wound. This is the first sign. You have met your shadow. Jung said, the shadow is the part of you that you deny, repress, hide. But it is precisely this part that holds your power. The shadow is not evil. It is wild, real, alive. And when you encounter a person who awakens a shadow in you, a storm begins inside. You get angry, push them away, argue. But it's not about them. It's about you. They are a mirror of what you don't want to see in yourself. They are not the enemy. They are the key. Sometimes the right person comes in the guise of an enemy, because the soul does not always speak with the voice of love. Sometimes it screams in pain, and that pain is a call for transformation. Many run away from such encounters. They leave, defend themselves, shut themselves off. But if you stay, you can see the truth. This person brings out what you have kept inside yourself all your life. Resentment, fear, anger. And if you don't turn away, you will begin to heal. A real encounter is not always pleasant, but it is real. It touches you not superficially, but to the bone, because your authenticity is buried in this depth. Sometimes fate brings you not a savior, but a trigger. But if you understand why he came, he will become your teacher. And perhaps more than a teacher. Conclusion. The one who throws you off balance shows you where you are still bound by chains. And if you don't run away, those chains will begin to break. You are going around in circles. The same faces in new bodies. The same conversations. The same breakups. The same almost there. This is not a system error. This is its language. Repetitions are not punishment. They are letters. Only not on paper, but energetic. The universe doesn't use ink. It repeats until you read the meaning. Jung said that the unconscious expresses itself in patterns. What you're not aware of returns so that you can see it. People attract those who show them their shadows over and over again. It's not a coincidence. It's a mirror. Repeating relationships are not karma or a curse. They are an attempt by your I to connect with your true self. With each cycle, you get closer, until you stop, until you ask the question you are afraid to ask, until you admit what you've been hiding. Then the pattern will break. But as long as you avoid the truth, the circle will not disappear, because you are the one drawing it. And you attract those who play the same game, the same masks, different faces. Until you break the script, there will be a repeat. And that's when the right person appears, the one who doesn't fit into your program. They come at the wrong time, in the wrong guise, not according to plan, but they are outside the circle. And you feel This is another level. Not a game, not a drama, not the usual script. This is a way out. Conclusion. Everything that repeats itself calls for a turnaround. And if you hear this call, it means you are already on your way to the one who will show you the way out. Sometimes you meet someone and there is no anxiety or excitement inside. It feels as if you have already spoken. Even though you have just met, this is not a coincidence. It is a memory, not from your head, from deep within, from that layer where there is no time. Jung called the collective unconscious. There, in that field, we are all connected. And when you encounter someone who feels familiar for no reason, you touch the truth. Recognition without explanation is not a game of the mind. It is the memory of the soul. There is no passion in this gaze, no desire. There is silence, acceptance, a feeling of home, as if you were not chosen but returned, as if you did not meet but remembered. You look at this person and cannot understand why it is so calm, why it is so simple, why feelings that were not there before are opening up in you. This is not romance. This is connection. Because you are not building a connection. You are entering it. Like a river you should have returned to long ago. And this river carries you not to someone, but to yourself. Such encounters are rare. They are not called, they come. They cannot be held back. They remain on their own. And there is no drama in them. Only depth, pure, clear, silent. Conclusion. Recognition without a past is a sign that you are connected deeper than time. This person is not a coincidence, but an anchor for your soul. Before the one who is truly yours arrives, life takes away everything that was not yours. Plans collapse. People disappear. Meaning vanishes. You fall. But this is not the end. It is a reset. You do not choose this time. It comes like a storm without warning. The wind blows away the old scenarios. And you are left alone without rules, without masks, without a path. That is when the real thing begins. Reset is not necessary for punishment. It cleanses, because with your hands full, you will not accept the one who is coming to you. There must be room inside. Jung called this the process of individuation. When external structure collapses, and you are confronted with your true self. Fear, silence, questions that were previously ignored. This is the point. And in it, everything freezes. But this is where the roots of the encounter are laid. The one who is meant to come will not enter your life while it is too noisy. And when everything collapses, you hear for the first time yourself, space, the echo of the future. And only after going through this do you become ready. Not according to a list, not according to external criteria, but according to your inner state. You no longer wait. You are simply open. And in this state, the right person comes as a continuation of your silence. Conclusion. When the script collapses, life begins. And in it, there is already a place for the right person. You no longer search. You don't analyze. You don't rush things. A special silence descends inside you, not emptiness, but clarity. It's as if you knew it would be this way. You just couldn't explain it. When the right person appears, there is no orchestra playing inside you. There's only a silent yes. It's not about emotions. It's about knowledge. Not from the mind, not from logic, but from within. Intuition does not argue with reason. It just is. Jung said that intuition is a function that perceives a whole without analysis. It has no structure, but it has truth. Pure, instantaneous, inexplicable. You can't prove why you feel calm around this person. You can't explain why you trust them, even though you shouldn't. It's not a choice. It's a response. True recognition doesn't require words. It happens in silence. When you're not playing games, not trying to convince, not trying to be liked. You just are, and so are they. Your soul does not scream. It does not beg. It just quietly knows. And there is no drama in this knowledge. There is peace. It is as if you have both awakened from a long sleep and finally seen each other. Conclusion. When the mind is silent, the soul speaks. And it is never wrong. Sometimes you meet the one and push them away. Not because you don't feel anything, but because you feel too much. Where there is depth, fear arises. Not of them, of yourself. Jung said, "There's an archetype in each of us that fears wholeness, because wholeness requires exposure, and we are used to hiding, behind independence, behind irony, behind the past. When the right person comes along, the masks become heavy. He sees you, the real you, and that's scary, because you can't play anymore. You can't hide. You can't control. You try to keep your distance. You come up with excuses to leave. You provoke. You turn away. But inside, everything has already been decided. This is not resistance to another person. It is resistance to yourself who feels, to yourself who is open. Sometimes it seems easier to close yourself off than to accept, easier to ignore than to acknowledge, easier to lose than to open up. But the loss will be an illusion, because the connections you need don't disappear. They wait for you to stop fighting. Those who came not to destroy, but to show, will not disappear, even if you turn away, even if you get scared, because such encounters are not recorded on the skin. They're recorded deep inside. Conclusion: a true encounter awakens fear, because it leads to authenticity. Sometimes it seems as if everything has stopped. No one comes. No one hears. Inside there is silence. Outside there is emptiness. This is not stagnation. It is a pause. And within it, the most important things mature. A pause is not for rest. It is like dark soil in which seeds are sown. There is no light, no movement, no result. But that is where depth is born. Jung said, before connection comes, there is separation. For the new to enter, the old must disappear not only externally, but also internally. And that takes time. You are not alone. It's just that the one who is coming to you is also preparing, in their own world, in their own shadow, on their own path. Your paths have not yet crossed because the most important thing must happen first. You must become yourself. Loneliness is not a punishment. It is a laboratory of transformation. In it, you learn to hear silence, to be without reflection, to breathe without adjustment. It is not emptiness. It is a depth that cannot be seen from the outside. And it is in this depth that what will one day meet you is born, without effort, without searching, without struggle, simply because everything was ready. Conclusion: a pause is a space in which the roots of the one who will enter your life grow.